BEEX project is a no-profit foundation about visual art and photography. If you want to help us, just drop a donation on buymeacoffee.com/BerlinExplorer. So welcome to this episode of 50 Minutes of Experience. Today I'm with Jake Fox from Pennsylvania. Welcome to this podcast.
Going on.
So, as you know, Jake, I want to ask you, first of all, to say something about you, to introduce a bit yourself, and then we can talk a bit about your photography, your experience, your communication.
All right, sounds good. My name's Jake Fox. I'm a photographer from around like Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania in the US. Primarily do like night and like landscape photography. And yeah, that's about it. Nothing too crazy.
Yeah, so Jake, we had already a talk, me and you, last time, so I know a bit more about you, and I will keep the conversation we was having, that this transformation you had between doing a portrait photography and start to focusing more on the isolation, on the building, on houses, more,
Yeah.
I will say, on yourself.
Yeah. My photography is definitely taking like a journey. I don't know, I just feel like with like night photography and stuff, it's I find that I can like portray mood a lot better. Before I got taken serious with photography, I really never thought of it in a way of like how like when I used to make music, so like people could relate to it. And I never like saw photography that in that light for like a long time. So like when I did, that's like kind of where it became more like a passion for me, where it became more important because it was like an art that I can do that people can like relate to and stuff like that. So I definitely try to like focus my like work around like the human condition and just I guess the complexities with like human emotion, like depression and relationships and a lot of mental health stuff that like I deal with. So I think it's like therapeutic to like I guess like express myself that way, and it's good because people like relate to it, I feel like. So it makes me happy.
Okay. And there are some picture where you figure some rooms, and I'm curious to know the where you catch this room. If you, I don't know, knock at the door of someone, say, "Hey, can I shoot a picture inside?" Or I don't know. Tell me more about that.
Like taking photos like of interiors.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish I could do them more because it's like a lot of my interior photos have been like in my apartment or like my like family's house. Like whenever I go over for like a holiday, I like bring my camera and like tripod and like run off while everyone's like talking and take some photos. But like, yeah, I don't know how like so many people get like interior shots. I know like I think like in one of like Todd Heida's like interviews, I think like his interior shots, he would go to like foreclosed homes and stuff like that, which like I don't know if there's like you just gotta sneak in or if there's like a way you could talk to like a realtor or something like that. Beats me. But I mean I've taken photos like in motels, like friends' houses I've been at, like so that's just kind of like I wish I could get into interiors more because I really like taking interiors of houses. I think it's like and I like pairing like outsides of houses and like insides, but it's definitely like a struggle trying to like get interior. So I just kind of take them as they come to me.
Have you ever tried to knock the door of someone of the houses you take picture of and asking to take photo of interior? I don't know, to discover more.
No, people, I could see the rage or just like people get weirded out enough like me shooting at nighttime, like on it's like it's weird. It's a weird array. I've had people like I've like been taking a photo of someone's house and they've like come home or something and they just were like really chill about it and just like asked what I was doing. I was like just explain them and like show my photos and they're all like cool about it. And then like I've had people where I've just been out like in a neighborhood taking photos and like someone just sees me and they like call the cops. Like I'm not even taking photos of their house. Like I'm just like walking around. Like I remember like one time me and my friend were taking photos and we were like I was taking a photo of like a car outside like a garage and someone like down the road saw me and like called the police and I'm like it's not like the cop came up and I was like it's not he's like real chill about it and stuff like that, didn't like give us any problems and he's like you know the rules, just don't like go on anyone's property. I was like I know. I was like we stay in the streets. So
you had problem also with police sometimes that there was some experience where police came and you had to struggle also with that. So
yeah, luckily like I've never had like police give like me any issues. I mean, I got caught one time like trespassing at some like old motel that was like abandoned. And I was just taking like I wasn't like in the place, I was just outside. And I guess someone like saw us like walk back there, so they called the cops and like they were real chill about it. So we just kind of explained like what we were doing and they were like, all right, like take your last photo and leave. I'm like, all right, cool.
yeah, and I think I don't know. It's I mean, it could be complicated to knock at the door of someone. I don't know how does it work there. It's for sure every country has different culture about that. I mean, photography in a way or another, it's always kind of passion that also provide a lot of problem with society most of the time. Where else you live, people feel always like you're stealing something from there or I don't know, a pervert, let's say, you know?
Yeah, people in like I don't know how it is in like Germany or like anywhere in Europe, but like in the US, like people get like really confrontational. I mean, a lot of it depends on like where you're at too. Like I feel like if you're like in a city doing like street photography or something like that, like people don't like whenever I used to street photography and was in the city, like I would never really get like have any issues with people. But like where I live, like kind of like out like in like blue collar, like working like America where everything's like run down and like it's like I guess more of like the conservative like viewpoint, people get like really confrontational about stuff. So like there's a lot of like there's a lot of like towns and stuff. Like one in particular that like I kind of like grew up around and I've like been wanting to take photos there for like a really long time, but it's just like people there are like the stereotypical like gun wielding like redneck Americans and stuff like that. So I'm like don't know if I want to go down there and like risk it because like people like I mean I've had a gun pulled on me personally like taking photos. Well, my friend was taking photos of like a tree in a field and the people who owned the field like freaked out and like I was like in the street and they like pulled like put a gun in my face and stuff like that and it was like they like shot it too like they like were like yelling and like faced the gun towards their house and the gun was like a foot from my head and they shot it and I'm like why would you shoot at your own house like that's so stupid. And it's crazy because it was like literally like a quarter mile from like where I grew up. You know what I mean? It was like just right down the road from where I grew up as a kid. So it was just like, but it was like out in the country. And yeah, people just get like, people get wild. Like it's definitely like for anyone like that goes out to shoot like night photography, definitely start where you're familiar with, like close to home. Don't go anywhere like foreign to you. Definitely start out where you're comfortable and you know like the area and you know it's safe and stuff like that. Because like the only reason I go out to more sketchy areas is just because like I mean I like the houses and stuff, but like when I started like on my block and kind of worked out until I got like fluent with taking photos at nighttime where I could just like set up, not think about it, like shoot the photo. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And
So
do you,
it's definitely something you gotta be quick with.
I'm curious, how do you take your picture? Do you use a tripod or are you go just with you without?
Well, I started on film, and recently, the last like 6 months, I've been shooting digital just because I can't afford like the film prices anymore. I like
Yeah,
switch jobs and stuff, and I just can't like afford it anymore. So I switched to digital. But I still use a tripod every once in a while. I like handheld stuff, like just messing around if like the light's good. But for most of the like 99% of the time, it's always on a tripod.
yeah, yeah. Because it's kind of a night picture. So then, or you have a camera is as really expensive gear of ISO really higher, and then you can keep the color bright, without a lot of grain, without this disturb. Or yeah, you shoot that in film, and in this case, yeah, I would say at least you have to use a 320, so or 3200, ISO, and yeah, so, I
Yeah,
mean,
it's
it's fucking expensive.
yeah, it is. I've messed around a little bit on my camera because I just got a new digital recently. It's a Fujifilm X100V, and
Yeah,
so I knew that they were like pretty like good in low light. So like I've messed around taking some photos like handheld, and they've come out good. I think like my most no, that wasn't handheld. Never mind. I only have like one or two like night handhelds that I've posted, but like it's just like you get like a different look because with like when you handheld it, even like with like it's still like everything's more like I guess contrasty in a way. Everything's like darker and like the details not as like fine. Where on a tripod, you can expose it longer, where you can get like the clouds and like the sky and everything. Like, and the sky's not like dark. How if you were like handheld, normally it's dark unless it's like super lit up.
yeah, it's for sure a kind of photography require a bit of time, I think. And I'm curious to know, how do you move, if you walk, if you drive. I mean, I suppose that you drive because in your
Yeah.
area it's not really easy to then go far away by walk.
normally I'll like go to like an area and I'll normally just like park and like walk. That's normally what I do because like sometimes I'll drive. It depends. Like sometimes I'll like pull up somewhere and see like a bunch of stuff, and so I just start walking. It just depends on the size of the neighborhood and like when I'm driving in. If I like when I drive in somewhere, if I start seeing stuff like as I'm coming in, normally I'm like, all right, I'll like walk it because there's a lot around. But like sometimes I'll drive, and it also depends like on the like area. If I'm like in a sketchy area, I normally just like see something, park, and then take my photo, and like I stay close to my car. I don't really like go far away. But also like if it's a sketch area, I normally bring a friend. So I have a friend that shoots photos too. Yeah, we live like 10 minutes away from each other. So we if we go, especially if we go to sketchy areas, we normally stick together, so
Yeah,
it's safer.
I mean, for sure it's you have to move with the car, and yeah, to discover more and more. I mean, especially to be there, I think it's really important to.
Yeah.
Otherwise, yeah, you get really frustrated, I think. But yeah, I'm curious to ask you, what if you have a kind of plan, if you are in a way following a map and say, okay, today I did this part of the city, I want to do it this other, I want to do it this other, this other, or if you have a kind of plan.
Normally, like no plan at all. I normally what I guess I have a very like I guess some sort of plan. Normally, I just go out on the weekends and I'll just like normally I'll like if it's raining like now like winter and like because in winter we don't get snow all the time. Right now we have snow, but like it rains a lot or like in the fall and stuff like that. So I'll normally like on a weekend like try to go out when it rains and get like landscapes, and then normally that same night I'll go out and do like night photos. So I normally do that like once or twice on a weekend, and then just like lay off on the weekdays because I like work full time, and like Instagram's definitely become like a full time job and stuff like that. And like, so I don't try to shoot too much because I don't want to like burn out. So I normally only shoot like once or twice a week,
Okay.
maybe more than that, maybe 3 times a week. It depends like on the mood I'm feeling. But I normally just go on the weekends, like on a Saturday. Like normally I devote like a Saturday to like taking photos, and maybe a Sunday. It depends on the weather and stuff like that. Because I don't like to shoot on like clear nights because you get like the stars and stuff. And it's just like I like how the sky looks at nighttime. It has a very like painter-esque feel when you have like long exposures. The clouds like drag out and like look real like nice and like almost like a water painting or something like that. It's really weird. I like it. So I normally never shoot when it's like clear out. So the summer times for me are like the worst time of the year to shoot photos.
Okay, so the winter time is the best.
Yeah, winter, fall, and early spring. I don't like. I don't know. I'm just like like the way like things look at springtime. I just don't like it. It's like everything's green. I prefer when everything's like dead. I prefer when there's no like leaves on the trees. I feel like everything's at its most like stripped form in like in the winter, and you see there's just a lot more characteristic. Like there's a lot more character to everything, and it's a lot more unique. And I think it just adds to the feel and the mood of the photos. So yeah, fall, winter, and before the trees get green in the springtime are like my optimal time. Then like once summer hits, it's like it's rough. 'Cause it's always like sunny out, and it's always like clear out. It's never we don't get a lot of storms like early like late spring and like right before summer starts we get a lot of storms, and then after that it's all just like clear weather. And so shooting's like a total pain for me at that point.
Yeah. So I have some other question for you. Like, I would like to know if you would like to work on some other kind of work, if you have some yeah inspiration, and yeah, how will you deal with that?
Like for photography or just like another sort of medium?
Photography and also other medium.
um for like photography, I don't know, I like what I'm doing. I think right now I'm just trying to figure out how to evolve it more. I think if anything I'm probably gonna drift more into like obscure style photography, like between like I've messed with it a little bit. Like I've like gone out and put like Vaseline and stuff on a lens on a like lens filter and
Yeah.
shot with it at nighttime, and it like adds like it like drags the light out and looks all nutty. So if anything, I think I'll probably start getting more. I like even just my editing style. I've slowly gone more like obscure, and I've been more like trying to get into like twisting the reality of like the photograph. Like all my photos, if you saw them in real life, they would not look anything like they do. Like I edit them a lot. I don't
Yeah.
go like crazy. Like I don't add anything to them. Like maybe I'll like remove stuff I don't like. Like sometimes there'll be like I've like for instance like I don't know. There's been like in some of my landscapes maybe like a distant like street sign that was just like a weird flash of like orange in the photo when it was all blue, and I just didn't. It just like threw the whole photo off for me, so I would just like remove it. But other than that, like it's most of my editing is just all the colors to like make mood. But I think I'll probably go like more obscure with it. And I don't know, as like other creative outlets, like music's always been my like other creative outlet. But I think just like I don't know, I try to like work on music here and there, but I just feel like I don't have like the energy for it anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's like on anytime I do something, I always like feel like I go like like all into it. So like if I could just figure out how to like not go all into like making music and not trying to make it like perfect and just like be able to like half-ass it, I'll be able to do it more. I feel like I like try to do it and then like I get my own head about it, and it's like like music's not even like a thing I'm like super passionate about anymore. So I don't know why I get my own head about it.
Yeah, it's I have another question for you. You know, it's about related to the social media. I mean, you are on Instagram, and your Instagram has quite many followers, no? And how do you usually relate with your follower? I mean, if you care, and yeah, if there is some people that in a way, yeah, touched you, you got in touch, and yeah, you wanna talk about that experience.
Um, yeah, I'm super appreciative of like all the support I get on like Instagram and social media. Really means a lot. So I definitely try to like respond to everyone and get back to everyone. Like whether it's like within days or like right there in the moment, it kind of depends. Like I don't know, right now, since I've been on like uh the last week I've been on quarantine, I've been kind of just taking like a break from social media, so I haven't been like really on it. I've like posted on the weekdays, but that's about it. So I think once the week starts back up, I'm gonna get back on and start responding to everyone. But I just try to talk to everyone I can. I mean, I talk with like if I like someone's work, I'll like definitely reach out and like talk to them like firsthand. You know what I mean? It's that I don't know. I just try to like support other people. I like enjoy their work, and then any other like people that just like are just like people that just like my work. I mean, if they like message me, I always respond and thank them and try to like have a conversation with them about like whatever. So I just like to be personable with people and try to like talk to my audience and stuff like that. So, and I mean, I would always like, no matter like how far like Instagram goes, that's something I always like want to make sure I do, and just show everyone that I'm like thankful for them. Because, I mean, without people like enjoying my work, I wouldn't be like where I am at with my stuff. I feel like so.
Yeah, I think, yeah, for sure, it's nice that when people approach at your work and they enjoy it. I think, yeah, in a way, for me, I talk for myself, but I will continue to doing what I do even without people follow me or a social network, I have to say. Uh, but yeah, I mean, for sure, when someone can then deal also with what you do, it's totally another feeling because then you feel also to doing something not only good for yourself but also good for others, no?
Yeah, yeah. It's like I mean, I would if it wasn't for social media, I'd still be taking photos. I just think social media just brought me a lot of opportunities. You know what I mean? Just like this, for instance, like us, like talking, like without being on Instagram and getting the support I've got, I probably would have never talked to you before. You know what I mean? And that goes for like anyone that I've like had these like sort of experiences with from Instagram that are like all based from Instagram. You know what I mean? So it's definitely like I'd still be shooting photos. I just wouldn't be like given the same opportunities.
Yeah,
You could say.
yeah, I understand. There are some photographer or other artists that you think they inspire you and that they are not. I mean, I'm not talking about the famous one because we talked also last time about Todd Dido, another photographer, but more people. Yeah, I mean, you met on Instagram, you discovered there, or you discovered somewhere else.
Yeah, like Mark Webber is a huge person that is just like from Instagram that I found that like it inspired me a lot when I first started. And I mean, his work's like phenomenal. I don't know if you follow him. He's from Canada, but he'll post like once in a blue moon, like won't like we'll just like post something, and it's always just like insane. But like recently, like he like followed me recently, and I've like chatted with him a bunch, like very recently. So that's like been a very like super cool experience, because I've been like following his work, for like the last 3 years now since I like got serious on Instagram. So it was like he was like one of the early people that I came across, and because he does a lot of like night photography and stuff, so he was like an early like inspiration for me. And there's been a bunch of people that were like early, very like when I first started and got on like this platform, and like people who really inspired my work. I mean, there's a lot of them that I've like had the chance to talk to through this. So
And do you think, yeah, you will like, for example, to, I don't know, learn something more from other people? I mean, sometimes it's difficult even find that people doing workshop or something like this. And if there is something, what would you like to learn?
oh yeah, I mean I've learned so much from people just talking to people on Instagram. Like I remember like when I first started, I was talking to First Castle, and he was just telling me like the biggest thing to do is just to like be true to yourself and like not follow trends and just do what makes you happy, and like eventually people will like see that through your work that you're just doing like what you're enjoying doing and what is you. So that's definitely something that I've like kept close to me, and I always like tell people, what I mean, because I've had a lot of people like reach out to me and be asking like, hey, could you like critique my work, or tell me what you think of my work and stuff like that. And I just don't think like I'm not a professional photographer, you know what I mean? I don't feel like I have like the right to be saying like, hey, your work's good or your work's bad, you know what I mean? Like I like if people like ask for like, like definitely like technical tips, I definitely will be like, yeah, like, like this is what you gotta do to achieve this, or this or that. But I never like really like saying someone, like, oh, your work's not good. I don't know. Anytime someone asks me, I always just tell them, just to do what like just to stay true to themselves and do what they like enjoy doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, for
So
sure.
especially when you're like starting out, like with photography, it's like I feel like everyone just gets like catapulted into this like world of comparing your work to other people's work. Because I mean, when I first started taking photography, it was like I wasn't on Instagram. You know what I mean? I just took photos myself, and I took like live music because I was in a band and I just like want to take photos for my friends like when they played. So when I wasn't playing, I'd be taking photos for them so they can just like post on their social medias and stuff like that. So I was never like really like, and like there was only a few of us that took photos in the music scene. So it was like I was up close with the other photographers and stuff like that. And we would just like give each other like tips and stuff like that. And there was really never like any comparing your work. Everyone had like their own little like style that
Yeah,
of their photography they did. And like after that, like I took skate photography and like, kind of like lifestyle stuff. And like I never really put it out on like I mean I put on my personal like Instagram, but it was never like I was trying to be like serious with it where I was like, oh, I want to like get an audience from this. It was just like I just posted it for myself and post it like just online for like whatever reason. You know what I mean? I was
yeah,
never like looking to gain like an audience from it. And so I feel like now when people come into it on Instagram, it's like they get like immediately like pushed into this world of like seeing all this other photographers work and like comparing yourself to them. And like I even did that a little bit whenever I first started getting like serious about it.
yeah.
And
It's a quite. I mean, actually, it's. I'm figuring out, especially with this project, there are too many people doing photography, more and more, more and more. I mean, it's
oh god.
kind of. I mean, it's amazing because you can discover that a lot of people take fucking really good picture, and this is really nice because it means that in a way there is an upgrade from the past because there are not anymore only these flowers and other shit like that. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, there are really nice books of flower, but of picture of flower, but there are also other. They are so fucking extremely cruel, no?
Yeah, it's insane. It's definitely like I feel like yeah, Instagram's very weird for that because yeah, it's like there's so many. I don't know. It's just weird. It's like I don't know how I feel about it being like oversaturated,
Yeah,
but it's weird. I think I think with photography too, I think that now that everyone has a phone on them and everyone can take photos, it's like it's definitely changed like the whole like world of photography. And like, I think it's like there's only like a small percentage of people that I think are like like art photographers. So I think sometimes it can be about just separating yourself from, just being like a art photographer and being just, a normal like photographer. I mean, I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. I try to just. I've got to the point where I just try to like. I just kind of stick to focus on like what I'm doing, and then just like support people that I like just enjoy their work. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So I
Yeah,
try to.
it's totally the focus point I have in this project. I mean, if
I
I
mean,
was
yeah,
if I will talk about getting money from that, I mean, yeah, come on. I mean, really, it's more the time I put out and the money I put out than what come in.
yeah.
But it's not
It's
that
crazy.
the goal, no?
Yeah, I mean, it's like I feel like the only like I guess the only way I can relate to like kind of like your project in a way is I did a I was asked to do a what's it called? I was asked to curate a page for like a week, and they were just like just curate post for like a week, whatever, like a post a day. I was all right, and so at first I was kind of going through their hashtags because I thought that was like what to do, just go through the hashtags. And like I remember I was sitting there for like 15 minutes straight on my like lunch break at work, just like scrolling, and there was just like nothing that I like liked. Like I probably went through like 1,000 images, and I was just like, I like messaged them, and I was like, hey, I'm like, do I have to share people from your hashtag, or can I just like share people's work that I like personally like? And they're like, yeah, you can do that. I was like, thank God, because like it's just like not saying like people's like work was bad. It was just like there's so much work that people are like posting to that hashtag that like just was work that I just like really that didn't like capture me in any way. You know what I mean? But I mean, I was like for 15 minutes straight. I don't think I found like one photo that was like, oh, I want to like repost. I really enjoy this. You know what I mean? Like nothing really
Yeah.
spoke to me. So yeah, it's crazy. That was like probably my biggest like seeing like the how like oversaturated everything is. So I'm like, whew.
I mean, this is also the way we got in touch because I saw that you repost picture of others on stories, and I liked I mean the flow there is in the repost. I mean, I think it's really nice curated, and that's the reason why we are here today. Then,
Thank you. Everyone jokes around with me. They're like, you a curator now? You turned to a curator. I was like, no, I just share people's work that I like enjoy. Like it's like everyone's work I share is like normally like 80% of them are all just like homies that I like talk to all the time, and I just like they're just like basically friends on that I've met through Instagram that I just enjoy their work. And the other 20% is like random people that I like pick up on. Like I'll just see their work from somewhere, or like maybe like a page that I follow will like repost them, and I like really like their work, so I'll go follow them, and then I'll like put their work out there. So I don't think there should be any like competition between any photographers. It's like we're all doing our own thing. We're not like competing with each other. So like if I like your work, I'm gonna support it. You know what I mean?
yeah, this,
So I've had people like reach out to me and be like, hey, can you like post my photo on your page, or like do a story or something like that? And I'm like, I just like don't respond because I don't know how to respond. And like the other way I know how to respond is like I'm just like I'm not a feature page. I'm just like I just support like people's work that I enjoy. But
yeah,
I just, at that point I just don't even want to respond. So I'm like I don't want to be like an asshole and be like, yeah, I don't like your fucking work. You know what I mean? It's
yeah,
just like I don't know. Like, if your work doesn't really like speak to me anyway, it's nothing personal. It's just like for me, it's just not like I guess like my cup of tea.
yeah. The
So
same thing. It's I mean, there are a lot of people there outside. They search for followers. I think. I mean, there are many phases of that. I will say. For my personal profile, really, I don't give a fuck if I have a follower or not. Really, I don't pay attention. Even sometimes I forget totally to scheduling the post to publish. So then for months you can see I don't post anything. But yeah, for this project, I mean, it's a bit different because if I stop, then everything stop. And so then it's also important. I mean, now I'm doing a campaign that you can see the increase of followers is going higher and higher because I'm spending money on the campaign of that. Because yeah, my focus point in the project is to reach out to as many as I can to continue to this with flow. And it's important that also I have a big audience to relate to many people also to what I do, or otherwise no one is aware of who I am or what I do. And this is important. I mean, it's important also because when I publish a podcast with you or with other 100 and more photographer I publish it, that they don't get that attention maybe they deserve, I think. So it's yeah, the topic follower and Instagram and social network and blah blah. It's important in the way that you want to figure out something, and sometimes yeah, when you are a curator in this case or a magazine or a project about something you want to talk to other people, it's important in a way to also make a bit of marketing of that.
Yeah, I don't know how you do it or like any. I mean, I have a friend. His name's Aaron. He runs a page called the Flying Fruit Bowl, and he does like something similar to you. Not in like a physical. He doesn't do anything physical like you do, like how you do like like books and stuff like that. But I mean, he does a lot of interviews and like he has a podcast like you. And that's what like I don't know how you guys like do stuff like this. It's insane. Like me and my friend Zach, we were talking about maybe doing like a like making like a page like a to like just kind of like support other photographers and do a podcast. And I was talking to that dude Aaron about it. He was just telling me about how much work, and I was like, yeah. I was like, I can already see it right now. I will not be able to keep up with it. So I'll like it's like enough. I mean, like for me, I know I just feel like there's a constant pressure to be like posting, commenting, like sharing people's work, like just
Yeah,
basically like being active on Instagram like every single day, like all day. And it's just like, I mean, like I'll be at work and we'll be like driving somewhere and like, it'll be like, oh, that's my time. I have to get in to like hurry up and like get on Instagram and do my thing. Like I'll be sitting there in the trenches, digging, putting a sewer in the freezing cold. And then I get to my lunch break. My only
yeah,
time, and some warmth and get to eat. And the whole time I'm just on Instagram, like posting what I got to do for the day. And then like going through and like seeing what everyone's like putting out there and stuff like that. And from my personal experience, I know like anytime I've had like, like any like where I got burnt out or, had like some like personal issues where I just needed a break from it all. Like it was like, I just feel like I got like punished for it. You know what I mean? So it's like, and then it's like it's definitely like toxic in a way. I mean, I've just even been feeling like lately. I just like I feel like almost like I'm not even like burnout like work wise. I feel like almost burnout like creativity, like in a creative sense.
yeah.
Just because I've been posting so much, like I think my biggest goal is just get to the point where like I don't have to post every day. And I can just post like once a week.
But yeah, I mean, I don't post every day. Now I mean, I prepare the post and during I talk with you, no, but I prepare the post for already the next month. So it's a workflow that you have to. I mean, it's automatization in the end. I don't think anymore what I do. I already have my folder collected of photographer on a footer, so I have already the message. So the description wrote. I have just to change the username inside. It's all of this part is an automation. So you start to be kind of a robot in that
Yeah,
sense. And yeah, you do it. I mean, I talk with you. I focus on your work. At the same time, I download the picture from Instagram. I upload on the calendar. It's
yeah. That's
it's
sort of like
workflow.
that's like every morning I'll like wake up, like shower, do my thing, and then I work with my dad, so he'll like he lives like a little bit past me, so he'll just pick me up in the work truck. So he'll pick me up, and then first thing I do get in the car is hop on, like scroll through for like 5 minutes, like see what I see to share, and then I'll like get off for a little while, edit some photos on my phone and stuff like that with like Lightroom and stuff, and then like I'll just do that like periodically through the day, like every like anytime I get some downtime, I'll normally like go through. I'll scroll for like a minute or two. And if I don't see anything, I don't see anything. If I do, I share it, and then like that's it. So I like for me, that's been like nice, where I can like I'm not like stuck in the app the whole time, but like I'm like in it enough where I get to see some people's work, share it, and then like get off it for a little while. Because I used to be like on it all the time, like and it was just like it was too much. Like I feel like now I've definitely got a little like the only thing I think I would like to change now is just be able to like just be on it, like respond to people a little bit more quick on it. I feel like right now I won't respond to people as quick, and I'll like kind of build up for like a day, and then I'll like get back to them.
Me, I have also the shortcut of every sentence. I don't know to write thank you. I write TY and I thank I mean, I've automatically think in my mind. I have my own dictionary when I chat because yeah, to save time, you know, it's, to make things more easier. I mean, for sure, if I have to write a text, it's a longer text and it's personalized. I cannot do it. That I have to write, but yeah, for most of things, you know, I mean, yeah, easy things, easy answer. I can use automatization, but in general, yeah, to I will say I don't use Instagram as much as people think I use. Almost nothing. I open the profile, I check the notice, I check the message, and when I have messages, so open messages, I move the open messages in general, and I leave the one I already answer in the primary.
Oh, okay, that's a good
So
idea.
I just organize my space, no? And then when I accumulate, I don't know. Now, for example, I answer to I don't know, maybe 60 people, 70. And yeah, then I move them in primary, and then when other people message, I move in general, I accumulate other 50, and then I answer.
Yeah,
But
I don't know how you do that. That's insane. I'd lose it. I'd lose it. I'd go crazy.
yeah, because otherwise, yeah, you get really crazy. You know, you have to organize your space in a way, and organizing your space is also good to also use your time to make other things. So it's not every day that I have to answer to the people. I mean, I check the message, I understand what it's about, and if I can answer 2 days after, it's okay. I mean, no one will kill me. There are situations where you have to answer right there, but it's important to, in a way, to figure out that even yeah, the rest. As I say, the post I schedule the guide also I schedule. I mean, I just doing prepare the draft and I put it there, and then when I want and when I want to use, just I publish.
I know you're probably one of the most like organized people I've come across on here.
Yeah,
Like, you have like the calendar that you like put like find a time. I remember I was like set up the time for our like Zoom calls. I was like, geez, I was like, this is nice. I'm so used to everyone's like, hey, you want to do it this time on this day? You know?
yeah, it's I mean, I had to organize myself. This is the point, no? And I think yeah, if you do it this kind of job, because in the end it's part of the job, no? To relate to social network because it's not only Instagram, because I answer on Instagram, Lomography, Twitter, Facebook. So then, yeah, you know, you have I do it usually like, okay, today I do it Facebook, today I do it Lomography, and tomorrow I do it on Instagram, you know, and mm, I usually try to don't open all the social network every day, just once per day. And in this way, you keep focus. Otherwise, it's a chaos.
Yeah, it's complete chaos.
Yeah, it's something you make it easier during the year. Now it's actually 15 years that I work in that field, so it's totally. I mean, it's not stressful at all. Just ta 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 ta, and you do it's one two three there. It's like it's like you have a house on the table. You need just another table to make the things in order. You make the things, you collect the things in the order you want, and then that's it. And it's the same. I mean, for me, take naturally also with picture as as a photo editor or curator. When you work on the body work of someone, you have sometimes 200, 300 print in front of you, no? And you have to figure out an order, or otherwise you will never do it. The book, you will never do it. What you have to do, and the first things when you have the idea, let's say when you have the script, the body, the real body, so then you know that most of the picture they have to go away. It's like that. I think it's I mean in everything you have to find your balance.
Yeah, that's definitely one thing I've always had struggled with is getting a balance of stuff. That's why whenever you bring up about like doing like you curate books, I was like, man, and like doing publish, I was like, this is something I have to look into because I'm like,
Yeah,
that's what you do. I was like, I just need to send all my like photos I have for a book, just send it your way, and then when it gets back, I'll edit them all and be like, all right, we're good to go. Because like it's definitely like I know for me, well, my biggest problem too that I've like found out is that I'm just my own worst enemy. I was the same with music. Like I'd like work on like an album or like a EP or something like that, and I'd get like so close to the end, and then just get like super self critical, and I'd be like, this is like so good the whole time, and get to the end, and I like sit down like this is shit. This is shit. I'm more like, I mean, you know what I mean? So I've always been like my own worst enemy. So that's why I'm like, because
so
I've like whenever you mention about like just like like if like you'd be like if like you would want to if you talking about like possibly want to publish it and like curate all the work, I'm like I feel like that's something that like I just need to like do because it's like I get like too personal and I hold on to it and like I don't like let other people touch it, and I think that's something I need to learn how to break and then just like let other people kind of like do their input and change things because you know what I mean other people know better, you know what I mean, all you know what I mean when you get too emotional and connected to stuff
yeah,
sometimes you make the wrong decisions. I mean I know for me for my own personal self like with this book with my book I've just like tossed everything in a folder and then just never looked at it for like a year, and then like a year later I came back and like looked at it and there was just already like so many photos that I like thought were like so good when I like took them and developed them and scanned them in. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be so good. I look at them now, I'm like, this is so bad. You know what I mean? And then
yeah,
it's like
totally.
vice versa. There's been stuff that I've taken and I've like hated and I've given it, months to a year of time. And I come back and like look at it. I'm like, oh, I really like this. You know what I mean? So I feel like for my book working on is, like maybe, taking the route of having someone curate it, you know what I mean, would be my best option.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
probably my most healthy option too.
yeah, sure. So we already told in our private conversation, I will also say that yeah, soon that we will come out this collection of postcard you made. So I don't know when, but we will do it. So just keep update when someone listen this podcast until the end.
Oh,
And
it'll be there by hopefully by the time podcast is definitely be done. I just got like two photos. I'm like mixed up about. I'm like, put it
yeah.
in, put it in.
So yeah, so this was Jake Fox, and you can find the link in description to his work. And yeah, I thank you a lot for your time for this conversation, the second conversation we had. Nice.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, I appreciate you reaching out, wanting to have me on here. It's always nice and fun to do. So I appreciate it a lot.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you for listening to this podcast, and if you want to learn more about us, you can visit the link allmylinks.com, Berlin Explorer, or our website bexproject.com. And if you want to follow us, you can always get news from Instagram on our account BEEX Project. Thank you again, and see you in the next episode.